And and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. Welcome back to the Grand Finals. The Grand Finals here of the K-Cup Korea edition, the Kanoya Cup, if you will. We are now setting in. We are getting ready for the Grand Finals. We did miss one of our casters, so did have a bit of a slip up here at the start of the series, but it's all good. It's all good. We are jumping into those finals. Game 1 is going to be on Abyssal Reef, and best of luck to Solar. Solar, he had some words. Solar, he was like, guys, so what's the format for the finals? And he was notified it's a best of 7, and Solar was very sad. He was like ZVP best of 7, Smurge, Bappy Smurge. So he was very sad that he's locked in a best of 7 against herO. But regardless, best of luck, and we'll see if he can bring it to herO despite the format, despite the extended series. Let's go, Bappy, let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player, also from South Korea, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As a reminder, this is just to remind the chat and also to remind Solar, it is a best of 7. it is a best of 7. Aye. So best of luck to our players. We'll see if Solar can survive mentally even a ZVP best of 7. Oh no. Let's go. I'm ready for it. See someone in the chat asking, is this a new weekly tournament? Yet to be determined. From my understanding, the organizer of the event, Kanoya, hence the name of the tournament, K-Cup, Kanoya, he does want to run additional tournaments, but this is the first one, and we'll see how this all unfolds. You know, there's still some teething issues when it comes to the format, when it comes to the rule set, when it comes to the tournament. Based on the naming structure, he might be hosting like a European and maybe an NA version as well. For now, this is the initial Korean version, and yeah, we might see some future events. We might see some more events in the future. We'll see. This might be the beginning of something greater. Whether it's like a weekly or a monthly or maybe even like a circuit event where we have like maybe one event for each region and then like a cross finals or something. We'll see. For now though, just a one-off with the potential of more. As we're getting into our best of 7 so far, Solar Force take the unnatural natural. And we are loading into Abyssal Reef, one of the larger maps of the map pool. Now, the last time we were on this map, we were featuring herO versus Shin, and herO, he did open up Glaive Adepts. True, he went in Glaives, and he did catch Shin a little bit off guard, until Shin scattered, of course. He was able to shut down the Adepts. Shin responded with a Ling Roach Ravager all-in, which failed, and then herO recovered. herO, he was able to recover. I mean, I say failed. I mean, he killed the third base, true, he was able to do some damage, but herO did eventually recover, he was able to persevere, and herO snowballed out of control from there. This time, Stargate Opener. This time, herO, he does not mess around with the Twilight Council. So, Stargate Opener out of herO, into Oracle. Likewise, Solar across the map, just running up, getting a third base, and settling into Abyssal Reef. Now, I did mention earlier some of the tendencies of Solar, how Solar, he has been hyper-aggressive in this matchup. I stand by that. I think I've seen Solar macro once in like a month of ZVP. Like he's been going for all-in after all-in after all-in. But these have also been on the newer maps, on the TLMC 20 maps. Here, on the older maps, especially on a map like Abyssal Reef, all-ins are not favored. All-ins, they struggle here just because of how defensive the map is. We have a narrow ramp coming into the natural base. Because of this, you can focus all your attention at the third, long rush distance by ground, awkward attack path into the third as well, either up this ramp on the right-hand side or through kind of these ramps and through these choke points. It is easier on this map to defend and stabilize on 5 bases to get your natural, third, fourth, and 5th base. Like the 5 base setup here is very secure in Abyssal Reef, and that is why we often see a lot of turtle play and a lot of late game on Abyssal Reef as well. So we'll see if Solar embraces the late game or if he tries to break herO ahead of time. The pressure is going to be on Solar. As the Overlord does go down. So far here he does open Void Ray, not Oracle. So Void Ray first, hunting down Overlords, denying vision here from Solar. Getting one Overlord so far. Looking for another. Thankfully Solar does pull away. Does pull away in time. Oracle into the natural, Queens are in position. No Spore, but there are those Queens. Despite that 2 drone kills. Nice pickoffs. It is going to be a later Twilight Council out of herO, so we should be seeing a Forge. Yep, Forge is on the way. It looks like Plus on and Blink. Standard follow-up here out of herO. Meanwhile, Solar, Lair first. Lair first before the Evo Chamber, before the gases, is going for the earlier Lair into a Roach Horn. This does look like Roach Hydra. If this was a little bit more Link-based, we would have seen an earlier Evo Chamber. So it looks like Roach Hydra out of Solar. The next big question, Solar, he will take a 4th, but does he saturate the 4th base? Does he drone up? That's going to be our next big tell. As here he gets 2 more drones. I believe that's 4 in total. Yep, 4 drones go down. Here he rotates. He's trying to keep an eye on the 4th expansion. Behind this, did mention Blink and +1 on the way here for herO. herO just settling into a standard game state. From here, herO, he can either double down into Blink Stalker aggression, he can start to tech up into Storm or Colossus. Storm is the more common follow-up, especially with the latest, well, the most recent patch, with the NG overcharge. Oracles, they dip in. They do get another drone, another couple of drone kills. That's 4 more workers going down, 8 in total, not bad. And we have the answer here. Whether or not Solar was going to drone up, the answer is yes. Solar, he is droning. He throws down Infestation Pit. Interesting. Now, what is curious to me, I don't see a Hydra Den. I would have expected a Hydra Den by now to go into Hydras and Lurkers and Hive Tech, but not yet. Meanwhile, we assume the herO is going to go into Storm. Yep, there it is. Temple Archives on the way. Is going to be for Storm Tech. Oracles, they confirm the Infestation Pit. Is aware. Now, is Solar crazy enough to go into like Swarm Host, for example? Swarm Host can work on some of these larger maps, true. They can be used to break these expansions. A lot of these bases are very defendable, but we have seen Swarm Hosts being used to great effect here on the other side of this cliff face. Yep, and there it is. Swarm Hosts are on the way. So again, specifically on Abyssal Reef, there are certain areas like this area here where you can try to lay siege upon the natural. You can also lay siege upon this Ascender expansion from the low ground. You can also siege up here on the left hand side as well. Because of the terrain, there are a lot of location for Swarm Hosts. So this is relatively, I don't know when I say common, but we do see this every now and then on Abyssal Reef. So it is going to be Roach into Swarm Host. 9 Swarms are on the way. And we'll see if herO can keep up. Now, when it comes to Swarm Hosts, they're very momentum-based. The first wave is typically a surprise. The problem is that herO, he saw the tech. He saw the Infestation Pit. And he confirms. Revelation gets eyes on the Swarm Host. herO, he's fully aware. Cannons are being thrown down. Cannons are on the way. Stalker's in position. herO, he's getting ready. Meanwhile, we're going for the initial, more obvious location here, outside of the natural. So we have Roaches towards the center base. Swarm Host towards the natural here. Yeah, he checks, he confirms. And here he will not get the Nidus Worm. The Oracles are going to be going down. The Locust Wave is forced out. So, oh my god, the Nidus does fall! And the Swarm Hosts are exposed. Only for a moment. And Solar, he should be able to get away. Storm on the Locust Wave. Solar, he does somewhat break through. And he gets out of here. Solar can pull away. Likewise, Roach Ravager is deflected. herO extends for a moment, but does pull back. Picking up more Roaches. And nice pickoffs here. Void Ray does avoid those vials. And Roaches are being forced back, and herO, he's holding. Now, this is where the soup does lie, so be careful. The army supply is very inflated by the Roach Ravager and by the Swarm Host as well. Ooh, as he was on A move. Yeah, Locust Wave was on A move. Swarm Hosts do nothing. Vial takes down the Void Ray, but herO's holding. And here he holds on. Massive Storm. He does force back the main army, but did lose that Void Ray. Mothership is on the way. And we spoke about this, right? Abyssal Reef is known for being more defensive, and herO, he's so far successfully holding onto 4 bases. And right now, the pressure's on herO to weather the storm until he catches up in supply. And then he can break out. Until then, he's stuck at home. PvZ takes out an Archon. Nice pickoff. Yeah, very nice pickoff. Stalkers, they come in for the flank. Roach is being shut down. Here comes that Locust Wave, though. And this might just be enough. Solar, he's trying to break herO here and now. Forces back the army, getting into the mineral line. Where's that Mothership? Mothership's still on the way. Tempest rallying in. Ooh, and the Roaches gets surrounded. Again, the Locust Wave runs out. And with that Solar, he will lose all the Ravagers. Ravagers are falling one after the other. Nice blink control. Tempest has arrived. And herO holds. Whew, herO, he does hold on. A limited anti-air here for Solar. He's down to 1 queen. Tempest can just reign free. No detection. And herO shuts this down. Now again, Roach Ravagers is a very inefficient army supply. Army supply-wise, I should say. Likewise, Stormhost, whenever there's no Locust Wave, they're dead supply as well. That's why the soup does lie here. And he needs damage done. He's going for the Nexus. He needs the mineral line or the base itself. Probes, they pull away. And herO, he will hold. And he will hold on. Slows on the main army. herO, he shuts this down. Behind this, saves the mineral line. Roaches, they try to overwhelm. Stalkers are going to be going down. These are still rough trades there for Solar, bleeding out a lot of Roaches. Now, when it comes to herO's counterattack, he still doesn't have enough. Ideally, if he can get up to, I want to say like 6 Tempest, then he can start getting into carrier production. Once again, he does try to catch out these Swarm Hosts, bleeding out a lot of Stalkers. Yeah, not worth it there for herO. Not worth it. The base finally goes down. Finally, damage is being done. The first base falls. Solar moving in. Now he's got Hydras. Storm pops up. Yeah, Solar being forced back. That was the only Storm, though. Yeah, there's the Cloak. herO, he defends that center base, but again, lost the natural. Another Knight is on the way. And Solar, he will ensure that that base doesn't get up and running. But over time, the Tempest count. That's what matters here. Up to 4, soon to be up to 6 Tempest. Solar, he needs to get ready for this. And thankfully, he is. Solar, he has the first Viper. 1 Viper is not going to be enough, but Vipers, they will help. Oh no! herO, not paying attention. Doesn't pay attention. 1 Tempest falls. That should not have happened. Again, this Tempest count should be building up, but he will lose 1. Another Locust Wave. The Locust Wave towards that natural base. herO tries to respond. Expansion should be denied. Where's the cancel? Ooh, just in time. Does cancel. Solar Blackbeard's moving in. Oh, he's mainly got Hydras here. Here comes the Abduction. Gets 1 Tempest. Does get 1 Tempest, going for the other. But the second Tempest will survive. Tempest pulls away. herO once again trying to hold on, but he has to be very careful not to push too far into creep. Has to take care here. Here comes that Locust Wave. Clerk runs out. He's going for the Nexus. He's going for the mineral line, and it looks like, oh, he will get the Nexus. Massive pick off. Whew. And with that, herO, he supply blocked. Big supply block for herO. Solar, I think he has finally done it. He killed the natural. He killed the 4th base. This is what's important. And now Solar, he can now freely expand, drone up, and tech into Corruptors. Whew. And here he's still supply block, still throwing down more pylons. Nice Storm. Nice Storm in the army. And again, Solar cannot break this position, not yet, but he doesn't need to. Doesn't need to, he just has to make sure that the expansion never gets back up and running. That is Solar's win condition. Just deny the bases, deny the expansions. Oh, gets High Templar, gets 2. 2 High Templar go down. And the one thing that he's missing here is still those Corruptors. There it is, Spire's done. Can now make those Corruptors. If it wasn't for this Spire, if Solo was tunnel visioning and if he was just making purely Hydra Tech and Roaches, then he'd be in danger. Oh, speaking of being in danger, these High Templar have to get the hell out of here. They pull away. Oh my god. So you pull away. herO out of position. The base under fire. Decent storm. Nice storms on the army. The High Templar exposed. Oh my god. Swords away for now. Another sword away. Hydras, they dive in. Where are the storms? Yeah, massive storm on the Hydras. They get one Tempest. But the Skyjust army is breaking through. Corruptors are in production now. These are going to be 0-0 Corruptors. But the Corruptors alongside the Hydras should be enough. How many Corruptors is it going to be? 8. 8's going to be 15. 15 Corruptors. That should be enough. It takes out the Mothership. Collapsing on the Tempest. herO, he's all in. He's all in with this army. The High Templar. High Templar go down. No storms. And herO, he will fall here. He will lose everything. The Tempest, the Carrier. We're trickling in the Corruptors, which is less than ideal. Gets one more Tempest. Yeah, it should have enough. There's a Transfuse. 2 Tempests left. Again, with a lot of the Corruptors are going down, though. Up. Gets the Carrier. Barely. Barely takes down. There we go. Takes down both Carriers. Takes down the final Tempest. Whew. And with that, the Skyjust army doesn't exist. Skyjust army is gone. There's one Carrier left. There's a couple of High Templar, a couple of Zealots. Local slaves are coming in. And that was all that herO had. That's all he had left, was that push. And now herO, he should never be able to amass an army as large. As he will lose another Carrier. And again, it all began with this base going down. Like, once the first Nexus falls, then it's like the domino effect, right? Where everything just crumbles one after the other. Also, oh my god, my apologies. I was just so engrossed in the game itself. I don't think I started predictions, or did I? Did I? Okay. I'll double check. We'll double check. For now, we do get the mineral line. The 18 probe is going to be going down, wreaking havoc in the mineral line. As we mentioned before, like we already had the final fight here from herO. herO just trying to counterattack. He does get an expansion, but he will lose every probe across the map. Leading out 25 workers. More links flooding in. Okay, yeah. Predictions have already opened previously. They've since closed. I wasn't too certain. But there we go. Solar and just cleaning up what was left here. Just remaining Stalkers, remaining expansion. And despite his feelings on this matchup, Solar is going to be able to overwhelm. Gets another 13 workers, takes on both expansions. Oh my god, massive storm. Storms a pop up. But GG gets called. Yeah, that's all that herO had left. And Solar will take a lead in the series 1-0. Whew. GG. Does take a lead. And again, herO, he was doing very well defending and keeping up, but there were a couple of moments where he did slip up when it came to bleeding out too many Stalkers, when it came to being unable to keep up with the Nidus Worms. And again, with that first Nexus going down, that did lead into the other expansion. Remember, the natural followed by the center fourth base did mean that herO could not sustain his army. He could not maintain his own production, and in the end was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. In the end, he was overwhelmed. And with that, Solar takes a lead. Just catching up. We go. Beautiful. Think Storms are good, carries are not. Carries are solid. Skytoss, it definitely has its strengths in this matchup. In general, has a lot of strengths. Likewise is the favored late game composition, but herO didn't get there. Once again, just to emphasize, a lot of it came down to Solar crippling the economy. He was able to break the natural and break the fourth. Those were the critical moments of the game where Solar was able to maintain momentum and make sure that herO never maxed out. If those bases were kept up and running, then herO could actually not just maintain his Skytoss army, but maintain his ground army as well to support that. But here we go. We're now getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline. We have our red Protoss player. We have our red Protoss himself down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. There's been Tempest Storm for many patches. Yes, Tempest Storm carrier. Typically, you do have like a combination of them. You never see pure carrier. You didn't even see that last game. It was Tempest first. It was 6 Tempest and then like 2 carriers. It's been the case for many patches. But yeah, you never see like, I don't know, like mass carrier or anything like that. Now that we're settling in. Gonna be settling in here so far, getting into our opener. Hatch gas pool out of Solar. Likewise, herO going through the gate, a cyber expand. Here we go. Is building up. And now we get to load into a bit of a different map. It is large, don't get me wrong, it is a large map in the map pool, that is true. But the bases are more exposed. Unlike on Abyssal Reef and Neon Violet Square and King's Cove, these bases are more open. They're much more open here, much more exposed. You can see here the wide entrances towards the triangular third and towards the linear third base as well. So because of that, we have seen a lot of Protoss players struggle to defend, struggle to maintain these positions and defend these locations. We've seen a lot of success from more aggressive styles out of Zerg players here. So I'm leaning towards Solar cutting workers. Last game he did drone up and get into his own 4-base saturation into Swarm Host. Here I do expect Solar to instead switch things up and maybe cut workers at around 66. We'll keep an eye on Solar. We'll keep an eye on him. herO does dip in between the bases, pulling away. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO. Putting up Stargates. This time into Oracle. As a reminder, last game herO did open Void Ray. Not this time. This time. See how this game goes. It's going to be Stargate +1 blink into Storm Mothership. Potentially. A lot of this will kind of be determined by Solar, I feel like. Once again, we're going to be keeping an eye on Solar when it comes to his Eva Chamber timing, his Lair, or his Roach Warren. As I mentioned before, there's a high chance that Solar is going to cut workers this game. So our eyes are mainly going to be on Solar here. Meanwhile, ooh, that is a very early Twilight Council. Twilight Council as the base goes down. Okay, so here he has options. This could be Glaives. This could be Glaive Adepts, as there is no Forge. There's no Forge, there's no +1. Really early Twilight Council. Otherwise, here he does like turning this into Blink, into a 3-base all-in, into an 8k 3-base all-in instead. So we'll see. Is it going to be Glaives or Blink Stalkers? It's going to be one or the other. course, they do head towards the main base. And it is going to be Blink. So really early Blink here from herO. Now, as I mentioned, there is no Forge, there is no +1. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count. Now, with this early Blink timing, herO, the goal is to deny the 4th base, to bring down the 4th, and to keep the pressure up. Likewise, we'll see how Solar approaches this, as he does go for the Roach Warren first. Roach Warren before Lair. So he's not going into Ling Hydra. No Ling Hydra out of Solar. This is going to be Roach Hydra instead. We'll see if he does skip the Eva Chamber entirely. If so, then it's going to be a 3-base all-in. As Lings are going down. Oof. Snipes the Oracle. Oracle does full. Nice Ling counterattack here. Does deny mining. The Oracles are out of position. They do deny mining. They kill the shield battery. Shield battery does go down. Yeah, there's that gateway explosion. We're getting up to 6 gates so far. So a 6-gate setup here out of herO, and we are looking to see if he moves out with a probe for proxy gates for the 3-base all-in. Again, as a reminder, because there's no Forge, there's no longevity in this game for herO. So it's looking like a 3-base 8-gate all-in. We can go up to 10 gates, depending on how herO commits into this. And charge on the way as a follow-up to reinforce. Stalkers, they keep up with the Lings. They move out. Here he's pushing. 4th base is on the way for Solar. Solar going into Roach Hydra. Here he breaks out. Keeping up with those Lings. It's going to be a delayed Forge and gases. Okay, gases are being taken. So herO, he is taking up. He is getting into a longer game. With these early Blink Stalkers, he's trying to trade, but he runs into a wall of Roaches. Gets an Overlord. Does get an Overlord. Decent pickoffs here, but what's important is the soul of the 4th base is getting up. 4th base is getting up and running. Lings out of the wall. The wall's out of wall. Lings, they flood in. Forces the recall. Lings, they get 1 probe kill so far. Nice hold position Micro, getting a 2nd probe. So 2 probes. Lings, they get shut down. And even though these Lings don't kill many workers, what's important is that it forced the recall. So now suddenly Solar, he's safe. His 4th base is safe. It's getting up and running. He's building up his Roach Hydra. Now, we mentioned at the start of the game that we didn't expect Solar to drone up his 4th and to go for a 3-base all-in. So far, Solar, he's at 67 workers. He hasn't droned up. He's building up his Roach Hydra. And he's not droning. He's not droning. He's not taking. Not into Hive Tech. Not saturating the 4th base. Yeah, he's going pure Roach Hydra on a 3-base economy. Let's go. So Solar's being hyper aggressive. herO doing something similar as well. Getting a 4th expansion, still being active on the map. Like, we're in a really weird game state where Solar's going for a 3-base all-in and herO's tech is late, so herO doesn't have the tech advantage that he otherwise would have. Like, his Storm is later, his upgrades are late. So there is a window. There's a window in time. Basically, Solar's about to max. He's about to max out on, again, 67 workers. And we'll see if Solar can break herO before Storm. Remember, Storm was delayed. Storm was heavily delayed this game. Stalkers are going down. herO, he's trying to slow down this push and engage ahead of time. So herO's trying to slow this down and engage ahead of time. Solar going for a massive counterattack. Solar, he's holding his own. And here comes that push towards that natural. Zealots, they catch reinforcements. Very nice catch out of herO. Hydra's going down. Zealots also Roaches as well. Head Templar gets surrounded. Who catches who? Yeah, Storm was barely not ready. So herO, he takes the fight towards the top side. But Solar, he breaks through those Zealots. herO catching more Hydras. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. As Solar, he has no tech. He has no +2. He has no Hive, no Lurkers, no nothing. Only Roach Hydra. Likewise, going for the natural. Oh, catching out almost another High Templar. Solar moving in. herO trying to come in for almost a surround. The reinforcers do catch him. Nice Storm on the Hydras. Yeah, Storm pops off. Catching out the Hydras. Meanwhile, herO gets surrounded. Stalkers are getting picked off one after the other. And it looks like Solar has enough. Solar, he has enough. He breaks through. GG gets called. 0 defensive storms. And Solar, he will take a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. As with that, Solar does take a 2-0 lead here. Again, a really awkward game as Solar, he was just building up into a 3-base all-in. herO, he was being aggressive early on. Because Solar was all-inning, because Solar was cutting workers, herO, his own aggressive opener didn't really find any damage, and he was punished for it because of that aggression. Everything else was late. Late Storm, late upgrades, late expansion, later 4th base. Everything was delayed in favor of that earlier move out, and with that, did fall on its face. Did fall on his face. Solar overwhelms, and with that, Solar, he's up 2-0. Let's go. We're getting into game number 3, and we're going to be loading into Neon Violet Square. Neon Violet Square being the largest map in the map pool, so if there were a map to embrace Sky Toss, this would be it. Here we go. Go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss down in the series, but it's a best of 7, so plenty of opportunities to bounce back. We'll see if he can. We have our South Korean Protoss player, it is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons, leading the series 2-0. It is Solar. And again, Solar, for the time being, he has been dictating the pace of the game. For those that missed out on Game 1 and Game 2, Game 1, Solar, he went Swarm Host, and he was able to pull herO apart and punish him and break him before herO could embrace his full maxed out Skytoss army. Coming into Game 2, 3-base all-in. It was a 3-base all-in from Solar, and he was able to break herO and punish him for being overly aggressive himself. That leads us here into Game 3. And again, herO, he's not afraid to embrace Skytoss, as we saw previously in Game 1, and that's where this game can lead us. Neon Violet Square, again, very large map, long rush distance by ground. We have a pocket 3rd base, we have a defendable linear 3rd as well, we have the center expansion. In general, expanding and maintaining a 5-base economy here is easier on this map. Getting a 6th base, different story. Whether it's this gold or this northern expansion, it is more isolated, is more spread out. Likewise, as opposed to Abyssal Reef, the center of the map is very open. It's very open in the center, so it's very difficult to be aggressive on this map from the side of the Protoss player, as they are very prone to getting surrounded. So that is typically why we often see players rush into Skytoss and rush into, Tempest, Carrier, Storm. So here we go. And we'll see how Solar's going to approach this. Now, when it comes to Swarm Host play, that's not as accessible here on this map. It's not as viable just because there are less kind of locations to abuse, just because there's less cliff faces and kind of less avenues of attack for that sort of thing. Muted play is popular, true. Going into Roach opener, into Ling Roach, into Muters is very popular here on this map, so that is going to be an option for Solar to make use of how large the map is. If we were casting Shin, for example, I would assume 100% Muta play, as Solar does go for the center gold. Bold move. He does rush into the gold base as his 3rd. It's a bold move here from Solar. It is more exposed, more out in the open. We'll see if he can maintain it, as herO will soon scout with the Oracle. So this is going to be the Oracle opener. But now here he does deny the Overlord Scouts, sending him away. herO setting up her proxy. Okay, you have my attention. This could be a couple different things. This could be a proxy gateway with a Twilight Council follow-up. Yep, Twilight Council. This screams the build that we saw against StarCraft. For those that missed out, herO did defeat StarCraft on El Dorado by going for not a Robo. He went for Glaive Adepts with a proxy gateway. Without a Robo, this does hit earlier. This does hit very hard, and this can overwhelm. Overlord goes down, but it does scout, I believe. Yeah, Solar, he saw the Twilight Council. Big scout here from Solar, but he does know if there's a pocket expansion. Regardless, early Twilight Council is a tell. We should be seeing a defensive Roach Warren. Show us those Glaives. Getting up to 6 gates. Yep, Glaives are on the way. Yeah, this is the same build. Same build that we saw against StarCraft. Building up his gateway counts. Now, the reason why herO can afford extra gateways with this is because there is no Robo, so he's saving resources there. No Robo, no War Prism. Proxy instead. And again, because Solar did see that Twilight Council, he should be responding with that Roach Warren. There it is, Roach Warren is on the way. This is a bit of a later Roach Warren by Solar, so I am concerned that it's not going to be in time. We'll see. We'll see how much time he can buy as Adepts are warping in. Adepts are reinforcing. Here he gets a revelation. He hides the Adepts. He doesn't want to show his hand too soon. It's going to be Glaive Adepts with a Dark Shrine as well. Ay, ay, ay. Do we see any spores? Okay, there's one spore in the main, one spore at the natural. Now, with these Adepts, if they do snipe any of these spores, then suddenly the base becomes more vulnerable. Suddenly DTs become more viable here. Adepts, they're going to commit. Yeah, they're going to commit to the Shade. Good positioning. Roach production only just now begun. Lings, they melt here against the Adepts. And here he's going for the Queens. He's going for the Queens. He should get one. No transfuse. And no energy. No energy. He gets one Queen. He's going to get all 3. All 3 Queens are going to go down. They have to get the hell out of here. He gets 2 so far. And the gold base is denied. He denies the gold for now. He's reinforcing. Going for the expansion. He's just killing the base. Why not? He can. Yeah, the hatchery goes down. And remember, this isn't even hero's final form. He has the Dark Shrine behind this as well. Setting up for his pocket base. Adepts moving in. Well, here going for the stasis. Commits to the Shade. He wants the Queens once again. He gets one. Takes down one of the Queens. Takes down a second Queen. A third Queen. He's going to get all 4. Potentially. Yeah, there we go. Does target fire. Gets the final Queen. Shades into the main base. From here, he can go for the Spore. Just goes for the Queen for now. Yeah, going for the Spore Crawler. One more volley. Goes down. There's 1 Spore left. And show us those Dark Templar. We don't even need it. we don't even need the DTs as herO he overwhelms, gets into the middle line, and herO fights back, puts a point on the board. GG. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played. Again, herO popping off with those Glaives. If you were here at the start of the year, you would know that this is the same build that herO used against StarCraft. herO, he adepted the hell out of StarCraft. He adepts the hell out of Solar as well. GG. GG, well played. Again, just punishing the greed from Solar. Does punish the gold base. Overwhelms. Snowballs out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into Ultra Love as Game 4. And we have a series, we have it back and forth. Let's go. We have that back and forth. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss fighting back, putting a point on the board. Momentum is on his side. Can he tie things up? It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg, still leading the series 2-1. We'll see if he can recover and get back control of the series. Representing Team Falcons, it is Solar. Go. Now, I don't expect to see that same build from herO again until maybe like a game 6 or a game 7. herO did do that build twice against several. I say that build. He went for a different kind of glaive up build in that series afterwards. True, it was just different forms of adepts. So that is going to be an option here to herO to embrace adepts at some point. Coming into Ultra Love here, we'll see. We'll see if he goes for it. Ultra Love is a smaller map, a much smaller map in the map pool. And herO may be forced to play more defensively instead. Now, because of the size of the map, we very often see Drop Lord all-ins like German taxis. We see Roach Queen walks across the map as well. 3 base all-ins, whether it's 2 or 3 bases, we have seen a lot of aggression from Zerg on this map. And I feel like Solo will do the same. We saw it from him on Frostline. I'm sure we're going to be seeing aggression from him here on Ultra Love as well. Now, there are a couple of features of Ultra Love that do allow for some more defensive play, specifically the towers. You can knock down the towers and wall this area off. Likewise, you can force field these bridges and try to make a stand in the center of the map instead. There's a ramp coming into the natural. There's a choke point here at the linear third base as well. So there are certain areas where you can make a stand and you can make a defense even with a smaller army, but it is still difficult. Just because of the size and just because reinforcements arrive so quickly. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of herO. Does open Stargate. And it's going to be on herO to figure out what Sol is up to. Likewise, on us as well. You know, do we go for the early Roach Warren, Eva Chamber, Lair? What's it going to be? So we have our initial hatch gas pool. Solar Force take the unnatural natural. Now this does mean he can spread creep a little bit faster across the map. So this is a double-edged sword here. You can make use of that base. I wouldn't be surprised if herO does open early Blink. I'm referring to like an early Twilight Council before the Forge into Blink. As he takes his third. As that would be a very safe way to play. And then you can also turn that into a 3-base 8-gate all-in. True. Which we have seen herO use a great effect on this map as well. We'll get into it if that's the build of choice. But now just poking in, it's going to be a Void Ray opener out of herO, hunting down the Overlord, denying vision, denying scouting. I haven't watched any tournaments since 2022. Who's the best nowadays? As Ian is saying, like Serral is the best Zerg player in the world, Clem is the best player in the world, and I would say between Protoss for online events, MaxPax for offline events, herO, they're a little bit more interchangeable. I would say that's the hierarchy of Protoss between herO and MaxPax is a little bit closer between like Clem and Maru, for example, or Serral and Raynor. But I would probably say those are the top 4 players in the world at the moment. Being herO, MaxPax, Clem, and Serral. Oh. As the first Oracle does go down. Nice pick up here from Solar. Meanwhile, we do have the Twilight Council on the way. Twilight Council in the Forge. This is going to be a more standard Twilight Council timing out of herO. Getting into +1 and Blink. Trying to maintain map control. I mean, losing that first Oracle was a huge pick-off already. So, rough loss for herO. And Solar, he's going Lair first. Okay, we have the tech of choice. It's going to be a Lair opener out of Solar. He is not going Ling Hydra. From here, he can skip Roaches and go... I mean, he can go Ling Hydra in a different way and just go Mass Hydra and go for a Hydra timing with the Hydra upgrades. We'll see if he throws down a Roach Warren. Otherwise, it could be Roach Hydra. It could be similar to the Frostline game. But now throwing down the Eva Chamber. And no Roach Warren. No Roach Warren, so we're waiting for that Hydra Den. We're making that assumption. The Solar is going Hydras. herO, he does scout the timing of the lair. He does see the Evo chamber. He confirms that no Roach Warren. herO is also piecing it together. Likewise, Lings, they get across the map. No shield battery. No blink either. And Lings, they do get a surround. They want the Stalkers. He gets one. He might get two. Yeah, two Stalkers, three Stalkers go down. Massive pickoffs. Lings, they bust into the main. There's that Hydrogen, and again, it's plus on range. Because of the later Evo chamber, it's going to be plus on range. This is an all-in that Solar's quite fond of. I say all-in. I'm assuming that Solar won't saturate the fourth base, and that he's going to be with a very heavy... Oh, never mind. I was going to say very heavy Hydra army. Infestation Pit. We're taking up. Okay. We're macroing up. Let's go. Infestation Pit for Hive, for Lunker Tech, eventually. So we have a game. We have a game. We have a back and forth. herO, he does break down those tumors at least, gaining map control, knocking down the tower. Lings, they slip in once again. The probe, not quite thick enough. Lings, they slip by. herO, he pulls back. And with that fast infestation pits, we can go into a faster Hive, and we can go into faster Lurker tech. Okay, Solar, you have my attention. Yeah, there it is. Lurkers are on the way. So Solar is going to be more defensive here. Now, this tells me that Solar's going to be vulnerable, so he has to be careful. Stasis is baited out. Solar moving out for a run-by. So far, Solar, he's holding on. herO likewise taking up into charge, into his own Archon production. But herO, he doesn't really know what's going on. Now, what's happening here, I should emphasize this. This is a really early infestation pit. It's earlier than normal, earlier than a standard macro game. So this isn't necessarily a standard game out of Solar. He is rushing into Hive and rushing into Hive tech lurkers. So this is a little bit risky. This is risky. This is greedy. But if he can get away with it, he can hit a very strong timing with those lurkers. As the Hive is about to finish. Here at the 8-minute mark. So again, just really early Hive, really early Lurker tech. herO has no idea. He hasn't seen the main base or the natural. He's only seen the Ling Hydra. And here come those upgrades. Lurker upgrades are on the way. The first wave of Lurkers are morphing in. And Solar, he's getting away with this. He's getting away with this. herO instead, he's expanding, taking a fourth base, getting into Storm, getting into Charge. And this army that he was working on will be amazing against Ling Hydra Viper even, but against Lurkers, less so. Against Lurkers, you need Immortals, you need Archons, you need that kind of more beefy, robust army on the ground, before eventually going into Skytos, of course. But here he's stuck with a Gateway army. Stuck with a Gateway composition. Again, we're morphing as many Lurkers as we can. herO, he still has yet to confirm. Now, he should notice the lower Hydra counts. That's a little bit suspect. herO... Oh, yeah, now he knows. Now he sees. He sees the Lurkers for the first time. And he's throwing down a Robo, which is necessary. Is that his first Robo? Ooh, that is his first Robo, by the way. Decent Storms. Lurkers are moving in. They have range. Yeah, Lurker range is done. And Solar, we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep going. We see a Fleet Beacon now on the way for herO, trying to get into Skytos, into Tempest, into Carrier. But he does need more time. And Solar, he should be a little bit more assertive here, just waiting for his Lurkers. There we go. Now moves out. As he moves out, Zelrama is moving in. herO, he needs Solar to turn around. He needs to buy as much time as possible. Solar, he doesn't turn around. He keeps going. This base is forfeit. Solar, he ignores the main army. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. Diving in towards the natural. And we're going for the base trade. Oh, here he turns around. He is forced to turn back around. Lurker's a burrow. Nice revelation. herO, he's racing back home. The Lurkers are exposed. Oh god, it's not going to be pretty though. As herO, he just can't push in. He cannot touch these Lurkers, not yet. Stalkers are going down. These are brutal trades for herO. And Solar, he has control of the natural. With that, he's pushing in. herO just trying to catch reinforcements. And again, Solar, he successfully rushed into Hive Tech Lurkers. It was crazy. It was bold. It was greedy. Got away with it. Got away with it. Back at home, there's not enough to really threaten Solar. And Solar's just going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Takes down the natural, pushing into the main, going for the production. herO, he has nothing left. There's just nothing. There's just nothing here. Again, herO punished for his lack of scouting. As he never saw the main, he never saw the natural. Remember, the only time he saw the lurkers was when he was pushing out, when the fight essentially began. So it was a late scout of the lurkers. Solar, he's that much closer to the Stargate. Going for a split push. I do feel like Solar should have a little bit more urgency when it comes to getting on top of the production, but it's fine. it's still okay, kind of. As we get the slow zone, we're running out of Hydras. Charge will say dive in. herO, he's gonna clean this up. Takes down all the Hydras, but he will lose the base anyway. Yeah, he will lose the expansion. GG gets called, and Solar will take a 3-1 lead in the series, one game away from taking it all. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Again, Solar does take a lead. Again, a very greedy build here by Solar, rushing to that infestation pit so quickly. As a reminder, I'm pretty sure he threw down that infestation pit once the Hydrogen was thrown down, before he had any kind of saturation on the 4th base as well. So really early pits. If you remember, the Hive finished at 8 minutes. At 8 minutes, the Hive was already done, and Solar, he was so quick to morph in lurkers to get into lurker range as well. And herO, he had no idea. He had no idea. GG, well played. herO, he gets caught with his pants down, baby. Caught with his pants down. And Solar, one more game is all he needs. Let's go. Showtime was cooking yesterday. He was. Like, Showtime's, yeah, he's a really good player. He's solid. 100%. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. Down heavily in the series, one more loss, and the finals are over. The pressure is on. We'll see if he can bounce back and claw his way into the ace match. No more missteps, no more mistakes. One more loss, and that's it. That's the series. We have our South Green Protoss player. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself, from the land of South Korea, representing Team Falcons, one game away from claiming the series and becoming our champion. It is Solar. Here we go. Pressure is on as we load into King's Cove, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very defendable on 3 bases. The 4th base is more exposed, and we have seen a lot of engagements, a lot of aggression at the 4th base, but all-ins are deterred. All-ins are not really favored on this map just because of how large it is. And what I appreciate so far, if you maybe weren't here for the earlier games, if you haven't noticed, Solar, he has gone for a different build every game. Every game of this series, we have gone for a different build. So I'm excited to see what Solar has for us here on King's Cove. I'm excited to see. We've seen a Swarm Host play out of Solar. We've seen, of course, last game rushing into Lurkers. We had a 3-base all-in earlier as well, which was on Frostline. Yeah, it was the Roach Hydra 3-base saturation, 3-base all-in. It was on Neon Violet Square where Solar was just getting into his game and he was shut down by the Massglaive Adepts. True. That was on Neon. And what do we have this time? What haven't we seen so far? We haven't seen Muta play. I bring that up just because on these larger maps, if you remember, I brought it up on Neon Violet Square, but the game ended before Solar could actually get into the mid-game. But on maps like Neon Violet Square, Abyssal Reef, and King's Cove, Muta play is viable. So that is going to be on the table. Likewise, Solar, on a larger map like this, he could, I was going to say he could try to play out a standard macro game. True, he could play standard. We have yet to see that. Could try to play standard. I'm not too fond of the idea of the previous build, rushing into Lurkers here, just because it's less effective. Again, the the advantage of rushing into lurkers is going unscattered and rushing across the map. If you remember, Solar, he didn't fight the main army. He avoided everything and he rushed right into the natural. And he was able to burrow and just end the game then and there. Like, speed was of the essence there for that previous build from Solar. That's not going to work as nicely or as well here on King's Cove. So we'll see what Solar goes for. Likewise, herO, setting up, is going to be a Stargate opener, Stargate into Oracle. And we're settling in for the time being. Did Raynor retire for good? No. He never retired. What are you talking about? See, did he retire forever? No, he didn't even retire a little bit. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Raynor, he's taking a break. And he mainly only plays in like big events that he's invited to. Raynor, he never played in online Open Cups. Oh, I say he never played. I guess he played in a couple of ESL Open Cup Asia. Oh, sorry, ESL Open Cup Europes. A couple of years ago, I suppose. But even then, he was never like a regular player in them. But he is taking a break like a lot of players, just waiting for EWC. Yes, he officially retired. Said it on stream 1 minute ago. Oracles, they pull away, getting 4 drone kills. 4 workers go down. Likewise, Forge on the way, getting to a standard follow-up. So far, we have nothing too crazy. We do have our tech of choice, Solar. He does go lair first. Okay, first things first. Lair first out of Solar. Lair into an Evo chamber. So far, this does look very similar to the previous game. I will say that. Looking similar here from Solar. Adepts, they thread in the shade. Solar so far is keeping up. Adepts, they don't commit. And Solar, he's maintaining himself. Now, as a reminder, part of the reason why herO had a really hard time scouting last game is that he did lose his first Oracle, if you recall. He lost his first Oracle very early on. This time he takes a lot of hits, but he does keep them alive. As herO, he does scout the lair first. Does scout the lair timing. Oh my god. herO, calm down. Does preserve that second Oracle, thankfully. Does keep it alive. Ooh, herO going into his Templar Archives before his 4th base. Rushing into earlier Storm. Okay. You have my attention. Again, this is before the Gateway Explosion as well. He's on 4 gates, now going for the Templar Archives into Storm. Into High Templar. Meanwhile, Solar setting up into the mid-game. We have Plus on melee on the way. We have the Hydra Den as well. Going into Ling Hydra. Oh my god. As safe straps, they just keep on going. Catching up 4 drones, not bad. Oh my god, did I say 4 drones getting half the mineral line? And Solar having a harder time keeping up, being pulled apart here. Nice, taking no damage so far by herO. Getting 8 drones at that 3rd. 12 in total. And I'm curious to see if herO, if he's just playing safe by rushing into Storm or if he intends to use it. As this Storm timing is much faster compared to the previous game. So very early Storm out of herO. Again, still staying on 3 bases. Meanwhile, Solar building up to Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Sorry, Ling Bane Hydra is what I meant to say. And we see why. herO, he's turtling. herO, he's turtling up. We have the Fleet Beacon on the way. That's going to be for the Mothership. And herO still has not expanded. It's a late 4th base for herO. Throwing down cannons. Throwing down shield batteries. Being very safe. Solar, meanwhile, he does drone up his 4th. Getting it saturated. Yeah, still droning even more. And I'm worried for herO. Right now, basically, herO, if Solar was going for an all-in, herO would be in a beautiful position. Like, Storm would be ready for it. He has all this stack defense. Like, herO, he's playing so safe here. And this means that his economy is delayed, right? Like his economy is delayed, like his getting into Tempest production, of course, then followed by the mothership. Getting ready for a longer game state. Solar has map control. Never mind, Solar, he's pushing. He does not fully saturate. Okay, he cut workers at 74. 74 workers, no infestation bit, no hive, no lurkers, pure Lingbane Hydra. Let's go. herO, he's here to break herO. How many storms? There's 4 Eye Templar. Yeah, plenty of storms available. Storms, they pop up, they shut down the Lingbane. Oh my god. Yeah, Banelings, they do not connect, but the Hydras are moving in. And is there a storm left? Yeah, no storms yet. We're waiting on that final storm. Tempests have arrived. Banelings are rolling in. And can Solar break this 4th base? It looks like he barely can. Takes down the final High Templar. But now he's out of Lings. He's running out of Lings. Just pure Hydra. Stutter stepping forward. Going for the Stalkers. And he barely breaks this. He takes on every single Stalker. The expansion is going to go down. I mean, oh my god. The storm does pop up. But the base should fall. The base should fall here. Gets us around, takes out the final High Templar. Sure, there's a Tempest, but alas. Tempest, they can't do much here. The base crumbles, and from here, Solar, he can just drone. He can drone. There we go. Gases are being taken. Spire is on the way. Breaking this 3rd base is going to be difficult, but the 4th base, it was out in the open. It was out in the open. And remember, all that defensive setup that herO had was to defend his 3-base economy, not his 4th base. As Solar here overextends. Does overextend here. He has to back off, has to calm down. Tempest count is building up. Solar, all he has to do is just back off, drone up, and maintain that lead. There's no rush, Solar. There's no rush. Not yet. He wants the 4th base, though. Does want it. Hydras do retreat. Lings move in. He's going to get us around, and he will force a cancel. Oh my god. Yeah, as we mentioned here on King's Cove, the 3-base economy here is very stable. It's very secure, but the 4th base, it's out in the open, right? It's out in the open. It is more exposed. He gets denied for a 2nd time. Corruptors are building up for Solar. Likewise, he does somewhat saturate his 4th base, getting up to 76 workers. Not bad. Getting up to 76. From here, he could tech up, but he isn't. Bear that in mind. Solar, he's massing up Corruptors. He wants to get ready for a 2nd wave. He wants to get ready for a 2nd assault on this base. Solar, he's choosing not to tech up into Hive, not to tech up into any spellcasters or anything like that, not to drone up to 80. He wants to kill. Solar, he wants to kill instead. It is a bit of a risky maneuver, but he should be far enough ahead. Should be. That's a lot of storm. Templar move in. First storm, no major connection. Storm zones away. Solar going for the production, trying to catch out those Tempest. Doesn't get them. Bleeds out Corruptors. Uh-oh. Yeah, Storm and the Corruptors as well. He's going for the dive. He wants a Tempest. He gets one. Barely gets one Tempest. And he might catch the Mothership. Nah, he won't catch it. Mothership does survive. This was a little bit wasteful. This was how many? 7 Corruptors. 7 Corruptors went down for 1 Tempest. So not worth it there for Solar, and herO, he's recovering. He gets his 4th base up and coming. That was a better fight for herO. He's now building up. And remember, Solar, he chose not to tech. He chose not to tech. He chose not to drone. Solar is pretty committed here. Solar, he made that decision, and we'll see if he can pull this off. Coming in for the surround. He's going for the Mothership. Decent storms here on the Lingbane. Storm on the Corruptors. Storm on the Hydra. The storms! Yeah, they're shutting down the Hydras, but looks like there's barely enough to take down the Tempest. Yeah, Tempests are going down. The Hydras, they melt. And it's a very scrappy fight here. 1 Tempest survives. herO comes out ahead. He comes out ahead here. He does preserve 2 Archons, a Tempest, a High Templar, taking another expansion. Solar remaxing with Ling Hydra. And again, Solar, he's still not droning up. He's still not taking either. He's just fully focused on Lingbane Hydra. Solar, he doesn't want a late game. Like, that's what this tells us. Like, Solar, he doesn't want the game to slow down. He does want to play against Skytoss. It's like, get me out of here. Oh, gets a High Templar, not bad. Takes down a High Templar. Storm on the Hydras. Oof, brutal connection. Can he overwhelm? No more storms. Takes down one of the Archons, but here come the reinforcements. And herO should hold. Yeah, hero's gonna hold. He's gonna shut this down. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and herO fights back, putting a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played, herO. He does bounce back. Again, solo, he was completely all in. Just as a reminder, he chose never to tech up, never to build up into any form of greater tech, or even drone up either. He did stay on 74 up to 76 workers, and just was all in. He was all in. And initially it was well. Initially things were going well. He was able to kill the 4th base and even force the 2nd cancel. But the moment that Solar he dove into the main base, that's when he lost momentum. I'm referring to the moment when he tried to catch reinforcing Tempest. And if you remember, he lost 7 Corruptors. He lost 7 Corruptors for 1 Tempest. And with that, I mean, again, he kind of lost a little momentum there. He lost that Corruptor advantage. And then here he pulled off the defense. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 6. Let's go. herO, can we force the ace match? Can we go all the way? We go. Oh. what just oh, tie? Let's go. what just happened? As looks like we may have lagged out or something there. It's a rare sight. That's how we're getting ready for our next game. It's all good. We're just remaking. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Solo win's not even. Straight up tie screen. Let's go. Oh, just making sure. Making sure everyone gets invited. I don't get why you said that 75 workers have to kill in the 4th base. If I didn't make it clear, again, Solar, clearly he didn't want the game to slow down. He didn't want a macro game. He wanted to kill herO. Like very clearly, he didn't want the game to slow down and get into like a drawn out like split map scenario. I do agree that he did have the option to just macro out of it. If he wanted to, he could just drone and tech up. He did have that option, but he chose not to, right? He chose to commit to the all-in. Didn't want to get into the late game. Which, I mean, Solo has been very vocal that he's not very fond of late game ZVP. I mean, as you can see in this series, we haven't seen it, right? Like, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen, like, a proper, like, late game ZVP between these two players. Just catching up. Oh, okay, we're good. We are good to go. We're jumping into our next game. Sorry, our players, they just needed a moment. They did need a moment to themselves. I don't blame them. It's been a long series. It's been intense. Solo, he was asking for a moment of reprieve. And now we're jumping back in. Jumping into El Dorado. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, fighting back and one game away from forcing the ace match. Can he go the distance here? Can we get a game 7? The pressure is on. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Falcons, one game away from claiming the series and becoming our champion. It is Solar. Here we go. As here he does force the unnatural natural, does block the second base location. So nice little start here for herO, and welcome one and all to El Dorado. El Dorado is one of the more unique maps in the map pool. I mean, there's a reason why we've waited until here Game 6 to feature it. Of course, we have El Dorado map. We have the gold bases. We have the gold bases in the center. We have 3 gold bases in total, of course, and they can come into play. In ZVP, it can be very risky to expand towards your opponent, as the rush distance by ground gets reduced heavily reduced, and we do see a lot of all-ins if that occurs. I'm referring if Solar takes this triangular third base or takes the gold as a third or as a fourth. Based on the expansion pattern though, Solar, he is going for a linear expansion and he will avoid the gold for the time being. So we have a more standard expansion setup. We'll see if herO starts mining through those middle patches anytime soon. Otherwise he'll also go for the linear third as well. So depending on how the players expand, you can be either more aggressive or more defensive, depending on where the bases are being taken. Players are going to join up. I don't think we'll see a proper ZVP between any player who is in Cyril. Most Zergs don't think playing Zerg beyond mid-game is optimal. In general, I would agree for Solar. I mentioned this before. If you've been watching the Cranky Ducklings, I mean, if you've been watching Solar for the past month, you would know that he purely all-ins, or he never like plays standard into the late game. He's always either going for 2 or 3 base timing attacks. I mean, hey, we even saw it last game where he did run up to 74 workers, but Solar, he had no intention of a longer game, right? Like he was fully intent on killing herO then and there. That's typically how Solar approaches this matchup, and he's found a lot of success. I mean, again, for those that maybe weren't watching the Monday night weeklies, but Solar did recently, sorry, not Monday night weeklies, Hub Cup, that's it. Solar did recently beat MaxPax, he beat MaxPax, he beat herO as well. Like, Solar has been quite successful with these aggressive builds, and you can even see it in this series where Solar is ahead, like he has a lead. And you can definitely see a world where if this series was shorter, like a best of 3 or a best of 5, the Solar could have taken it here, again, with these more unique builds. Just again to emphasize, Solar, he has done a different build every game so far. Has been a different build, a different composition, different style, which I do appreciate. But now we're getting into El Dorado, and we'll see how herO approaches this. See how it does approach it so far. Stargate. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO. Oracle's moving out. As herO does dive into the main, getting a drone kill, getting 1, getting 2. Some decent pickoffs initially. Nothing major. Nothing too wild. herO also will take the linear third base. Again, no one has taken the gold. Not yet. Both players are expanding away from each other. So some safer expansions here by herO and Solar. Safer setups. Well, nice surround. Adept goes down. Oracles, they try to catch some transferring workers, and they go for the Queen. There is no transfuse, but the Queen does survive. They get 1 drone. Ooh, and herO takes a lot of hull damage. Has to get the hell out of here. Getting 3 drone kills in total, takes a lot of hits, but does get away. Ooh, does pull away. Behind this, Twilight Council Forge. This looks like +1 and Blink. Standard follow-up out of herO. And again, our eyes are going to be on Solar. Do we go Lair first? Eva Chamber? Roach Warren? What's it going to be? It is going to be Lair first here out of Solar. Going for the initial Lair. Likewise, Roach Warren gets thrown down. There's no Eva Chamber, so no +1 melee. Oh, likewise, Oracles, they hit the natural. Sorry, they hit the third. 2 more drones. Honestly, pretty good damage. Overall here, it's been how many? 7 drone kills. 7 drones, 6 lings. Very nice pickoffs out of herO. The Oracles are low, but they're still alive. Still alive. When it came to the early days of this map pool, was the Oracle takes a lot of hits. We did see quite a lot of German taxis on this map. That is going to be an option, as the Oracle is barely going to escape on how many HP? 9 HP. Get the hell out of there. The gases are being taken. We have our 2 gases here at the natural, likewise 2 gases at the third, gases here in the main, and for the first time this series, if you recall, I was alluding to Spire play on King's Cove and on Neon Violet Square. We didn't see Spire play on those maps, so we see it here. It's going to be Roach into Mass Gas into Mutas. Let's go. For the first time this series, Solar is going Muta. And more importantly, can he hide this? Can he keep this hidden? Can he keep this secret and safe? Oh boy. Because if Hero scouts this, he can shut this down by going to Phoenixes, by building up his Blink Stalkers. Oracles, they do catch a couple of transferring workers. 2 drones going down, going for the Queen. Queen does fall. Hero, he does get into the main. He sees, he knows. Gets Revelation just for good measure. He confirms. Hero, he's aware of the Spire, and Solar, does he cancel? At this point, he might just let it finish. Yeah, the Spire has been spotted. I mean, again, it can be quite difficult to get away with Muta play. Hero back at home, throwing down side defense, cannons, shield batteries, checking his vision. Spire's finishing up. And Hero, he does move out. Solar, he has purely links for defense. He did skip his roaches. Solar, he's vulnerable because of the mutas. And Queens are going down. Yeah, Queens are going down this base. It's going to fall. Adepts, they distract the Lings. Getting 1, getting 2 more Queens. Going for the expansion. And the reason why Solar can't save this base, or why he's struggling to save the base, is because of the muta play. As that's where all the gas was spent. Stasis goes off. Muta's going to be forced to be defensive, and they struggle defensively here against these Stalkers. Yeah, so a strong push here from Hero. All because he scouted the Spire. Mutas are going down, Lynx as well. And Solar's hurting. Solar, he's hurting, and here he just reinforces. He just keeps rallying across the map, takes down the expansion, shuts down the 4th base. And the Mutas, they're trying to come in. They're doing what they can, but they're on their own. Lynx, they do come in to reinforce. Here come the Oracles. The Oracles, they focus down the Queens. Ooh, Oracles go down. And Solar, he holds. He's barely holding. Oh, it's expensive, though. Very expensive. More Mutas getting picked off. Ay, ay, ay. The Mass Stalker is overwhelming. Yeah, good defense is a solid offense. As Hero, he just punishes. How many Mutas are left? 7. Down to 6. 6 Mutas remaining. Against 17 Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. And Hero, he just keeps going. He just keeps reinforcing, keeps pushing. And this was Hero's answer to the Mutas. It's like, hey, if you're going Mutas, you just can't hold. You just can't defend against this. It's not going to happen. And hey, he was right. He was right, and we're going to the ace match. GG gets called. Hero, he will tie up the series 3-3. We're going to Game 7. Let's go. Let's go. Going to Game 7. Oh, sorry, I had the wrong score out of game. We're going to Game 7. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. Lings overrun. That's what the Oracles are for. That's the power of like the Oracle opener, is that the Oracles do keep these Stalkers safe with stasis traps and with their pulsar beams. Which is, again, also why Hero did move out when he did. It's time for it. It's time for a 12-pool drone pool. Let's go. Let's go. The final game is going to be on Ley Lines. Okay. Ley Lines, one of the more standard maps in the map pool. It's not as extreme as King's Cove or Abyssal or Neon Violet Square. It's not as small as Whispers of Gold or even El Dorado. But here we go. We're getting into that. Oh. Getting into the ace match. Do you know where Rogue is? Rogue, he still competes. Rogue, he most recently competed in... Did he play in Lily Cup? Lily Cup 36? But Rogue, he is like I would say a part-time player, where Rogue, I believe he has other commitments. I think he has another profession, if you will. But Rogue, he like plays every now and then. He plays every now and then. He's still quite good. He's still quite strong. But he doesn't like dedicate his time to playing in all the open cups like players like herO, Bjorn, Solar, Clem, Max Pax. Like Rogue, he dips in every now and then. But still active, and still playing in tournaments. He played in the Lily Cup. He also played, I want to say, was Rogue in the Pigsty Festival? Seeing that as well. He was in the Rex March Madness, true. But here we go, we're getting to our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, forcing the ace match. Things were looking dire, Papi. herO, he was down in this series, so it was almost out as well, but he has clawed his way back in, and we'll see if he can take it all and pull off that almost reverse sweep. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. He had so much momentum, he was so far ahead, but alas, loss after loss here. Can he bring it back? It is Solar. He's been so close for so long. Hatch gas pull, herO being so annoying, actually. herO just being as annoying as possible with that probe, does force some inefficient mining. And even forces one of the drones off the mineral line. So we are settling in. We go. Likewise, herO settling in. Coming into this game, I don't expect to see mutas again. I think mutas are a very niche build, and as you saw, like if mutas get scouted, if the Spire gets spotted, then the Protoss player, if they're good enough, and herO more than is, they can just punish it and shut it down real fast and real quick. So once in a series is what we limited to. Now herO, he pulls away. And we'll see how we open up. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of herO. Does open Stargate. Into most likely Oracle. Now, we have seen Stargate into Glaive Adepts already here in this series. I believe that's what we saw on Neon Violet Square, if you remember. Where herO, he went, was it 6k Glaive Adepts? It was crazy. But that was also on Neon Violet Square. That was a more specialized build for that map. Specifically because Solo is being greedy. But always an option. Always something to bear in mind. As herO does pull away. Oracle is in production. Now, when it comes to ley lines, when it comes to the map itself, I should emphasize, it has a bit of a longer rush distance by ground. I mean, again, longer than some of the smaller maps. It's a little bit middle of the road. The third base is a little bit more defendable. We do have a ramp coming into the third. Likewise, we have some points of elevation here at the fourth bases as well. So because of that, we often do see some more standard mid-game here on ley lines. We haven't really seen much standard back and forth yet in this series. It's been very intense and very chaotic. We have had some longer games, but we haven't got there in the most standard of fashions. We could get there here, though. Like, for example, technically we had a long game on Abyssal, but that was Stormhost playing a Solar, just like non-stop knocking down the bases of herO. Likewise on Ultra Love, Solar, he rushed into Lurkers. Rushed into Lurker Tech and caught herO off guard. What do we have this time? As the second Oracle does move out to meet the first. Behind this, Forge into Twilight Council, standard follow-up out of herO. But once again, I feel like we're mainly looking at Solar. Like, again, he's done something different every time. Queen getting called out. No transfuse. Nice pick off. Takes down the Queen. Doesn't really take much hull damage. I spoke too soon. Gets up popping off. Getting 3 drone kills so far. So 3 drones and a Queen. Not bad here from herO. pulls away, getting his third base up and running. And we'll see if Solo goes for that lair. There we go, lair first. He's been very fond of this. We've often seen lair first builds out of Solar. Last game, this led into Mutas. We don't expect to see that this time. No shot. Not this time. Most likely into Roach Hydra, as it's a lair alongside the Evo Chamber. Typically this means +1 range, typically. Let's see if that's the case. As the oracles are forced back, gases are being taken. Oh! Ooh, as the first oracle does go down, nice pickoff. Yeah, herO overextends. And show us that upgrade. Gases are on the way. That's a lot of gases here for Solar. No Roach Warren. So with the completion of the lair, this should be Hydra Tech. Yep, there we go. Hydra Den is on the way. So rushing into Hydras. Skipping Roaches. Things are keeping up. They get a surround. Not bad. Oracles, they will support the Adepts, but alas, not enough. The Adepts do get cleaned up. And there's that +1 range. Again, usually it's melee if it's the Evo Chamber before the lair. That screens melee. If it's after the lair, screens +1 range. That is once again a very fast infestation bit. 620 timing here with the infestation bits. This looks like the same build that we saw in Ultra Love. True. So really fast pit into most likely really fast lurker tech. Okay. So we've seen this before. You know, herO pushing in. Let's chip away at the 4th base. Laying Hydra is amassing. Bearing in mind that Solar did skip Roach production, so it's going to be a bit of a more difficult defense here early on. Solar did cut corners. Hydra's going to be going down. He gets one. Behind this, herO expanding, getting his 4th. Still pushing in. He wants more Hydras. Gets one. Gets another Hydra. Every Hydra counts. Meanwhile, infestation bit is done. Here comes the Hive. Here comes the Lurker Den. So this is the same build that we saw in Ultra Love. So he's rushing into Lurkers. Leading out another Hydra. Nice speed goes by herO. herO taking towards Storm. Temple Archives on the way. Temple Archives after the 4th base. So herO, he will have a greater economy. Still reinforcing, applying a lot of pressure. I do actually like this for herO because every Hydra that goes down weakens the Lurkers. It means that there's going to be that many less Lurkers to defend or to move out. So Solar, he has to preserve those Hydras as they're going down. Yeah, Hydras are falling. Solar going for a massive link counterattack. Does force the defensive warp in. Oracle goes down. But herO, he's punishing Solar here. Yeah, here he's breaking through. He's breaking through. Solar a little bit too greedy this time, and herO, he punishes that greed. He blinks on in, breaks through the Lings, and breaks through most of the Hydras. Boys are being pulled. Solar, he's in trouble. He's being broken. Solar's being broken. herO, this time he's not passive. He's not passive. He does punish. He breaks on through, takes down the mineral line. And herO, the comeback is real. He was down 3-1, by the way. He was down 3-1 in this series. And he brought it all the way back to the ace match. He dives on the army. There's just not enough here left. There's not enough here. Despite the Hive, despite the Lurker Den, 0 Lurkers to defend. As Solar, this time he gets punished. 15 drone kills. Solar, he's barely holding on. He does force back. herO does force him back. Whew. But again, the economy is heavily in favor of herO. The base is almost dead, actually. Here comes the first Lurker. That's all we can afford. One Lurker, papi. One Lurker in a dream. There we go. Second Lurker's on the way. But herO's not stopping. He's not stopping. He's pushing in. Again, he's so close to breaking the base. Gets a revelation. He spots the Lurkers. Yo, can Solar stabilize? If he can build up that Lurker count, he can slow down the game. Oh god, that's a lot of Zealots. It's a lot of Zealots. herO, he needs a revelation though. There we go. He has the Observer. Yeah, he has the Observer. He's fine. There's a revelation. Blinks on in. Takes down one of the Lurkers. He gets one. He gets two. There's one Lurker left. One Lurker remaining. Yeah, and Solar, he couldn't stabilize. He could not stabilize. He was hoping that maybe there'd be a little bit more time. The base goes down. I mean, the supplies are still quite close. herO still has the greater economy. That's what's important here. He has a greater economy. Oh, Immortal getting called out. Nice pickup. Nice pickup here out of Solar. Takes down the Immortal. Storm is almost done. We got one Lunker. one Lurker. Let's go. Oh no. Never mind. It's gonna be surrounded. Lurker goes down. Storm on the Hydras. Very scrappy game here in Solar. He doesn't have enough. GG gets called. He is broken, and herO will claim the series 4-3, becoming our first K-Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Cheeky build here out of Solar, and typically we see these kind of builds once in a series. We now saw it a second time, this time much less successful. This time herO was more aggressive. This time he was more aggressive, he was more assertive, and as we saw, the downside of trying to rush into lurkers like that is that you are vulnerable early on. You are vulnerable, and we saw that herO, he was able to punish that vulnerability. He was able to bust in, took down all the lings, and the Hydra count never really built up. Because we were bleeding out Hydras, Solar, he was forced to rebuild those Hydras, spend his gas. He did not have a bank to build up any lurker tech. He was up against the wall. He was overwhelmed. Solar was overwhelmed. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series. Very close, very clutch. It went all the way to game 7. GG, well played. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, and a shout out to Solar, because as you mentioned before, if this was a shorter series, maybe Solar wins, right? If this was a best of 3 or a best of 5, maybe Solar comes out on top. But coming into the best of 7, herO, he did have a little bit more stamina, more endurance. He was able to keep up with Solar and punish some of the more unique builds of Solar as well. GG. GG, well played. Whew, oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations. And yeah, shout out to herO. Shout out to herO. When it comes to this event, this is the very first K-Cup. If you're curious, what is K-Cup? K-Cup is a Kanoya Cup. You can actually see the logo under the webcams. There you go. There you go. Kanoya Cup. Kanoya, he is a French caster. He's a French caster. He does cast in French. He does have his own Twitch channel, so do check out Kanoya. He has stepped into the ring hosting his first event. Of course, he's casting in French. He did invite us to cast in English, so big shout out to Kanoya for inviting us and for bringing this all together here. This was K-Cup Korea, the Korea edition, which means we might see a European edition of this tournament. We might see like a European edition, we might see an NA edition. I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not Kanoya. I'm not. I don't know. But you know, I know that he wants to host more events. I know that at least. I know that he's still trying to iron things out, and of course, this is his first time hosting an event like this. So you know, there were a couple of teething issues. We had a lot of walkovers in the first round, for example. So, and a lot of players were a little bit confused about the format as well. So there was that, of course. But yeah, I know that he wants to host more. So yeah. Shout out to Kanoya, and if there is another event, we'll be sure to be there for it. Whether it's another Korean Cup, whether it's a European one, whether it's a North American one, we'll be there. We will be there for it. Otherwise, GG, well played. Again, congratulations to herO for getting first place, Solar for getting second, and Creator and Björn, they were actually playing off stream because there is a third place match. There is a third place match, and I don't think it was being casted, unfortunately. Wasn't being casted, but we will learn the outcome of that eventually. Learn the outcome. As top 3 players are paid out. So not bad. Not bad. Here we go. Here we go. But otherwise, GG, well played. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. If you maybe haven't tuned into the Cranky Ducklings before, bam, you have our weekly schedule here. We do cast on a daily basis. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. We have the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday broadcast, but for the first time this week, we are taking a little bit more time off. Usually we do take half a day off a week, but this week we have 2 half days. Wednesday evening and Friday evening, we are taking that time off just so we can actually rest up a little bit and, you know, if we're able to spend time doing something other than just purely casting StarCraft. It's been an intense schedule here for the past couple of years, but yeah, we're gonna try to open things up a little bit, and you know, now we can touch some grass. It's crazy, I know. We can touch a little bit of grass, a little bit, for half a day. So so just as a PSA, we have Wednesday and Friday evenings off for the time being. That may change in the future. I know even right now we're struggling with that, in the sense that if we really wanted to, we could cast twice a day, every day. Like, there's just so much StarCraft going on, so much content. We are actively turning down events to cast just to keep this schedule going. Like, just we can't cast everything. I'd love to, but you know, sleep is nice, sleep is important. So we do have our current schedule. We're gonna be back here tomorrow morning. We have the Kung Fu Cup StarCraft Evolution Edition. That is gonna be Kung Fu Cup number 4, I believe. We're going to be covering that via replays tomorrow morning, and we also have Kung Fu Cup number 5 Friday morning as well. We have Code for Giants Cup on Thursday. We have the Pondcast on Thursday, KSL, Hatchery Cup, SDO, STC. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the channel as always. And if you see something that you like, or maybe you're hearing, you're like, hold up, you know, maybe we're tuning in for the first time, you know, we like the content, we want to find some of these VODs, then YouTube is the place to be. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. You'll get a link to our YouTube channel, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things Cranky Ducklings. We're all over the internet, all things Cranky Ducklings. Again, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of content on YouTube if you're interested. If you see some of these tournaments and if you can't watch it live just because your time zone, or again, like, I don't expect someone to be able to watch StarCraft on a daily basis every single day, multiple times a day. There's just a lot of tournaments going on. If you can't watch it live, then yeah, check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. We recently hit 1 million views on YouTube, so thank you so much to all of those on YouTube for tuning in. And we also recently hit 3,000 subscribers as well. So thank you. Thank you so much, as our channel has been slowly growing over the past like 7 years. So all the content, it's all there. It's all chronicled on YouTube, especially because now VODs are no longer supported on Twitch. So VODs are being deleted on Twitch, so they're all on YouTube nowadays instead. Otherwise, again, our next broadcast is going to be at 9 AM KST. That's going to be 11 AM AEST. That'll be in 10 hours. 10 hours time, we have our next broadcast, so do tune into that. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off for the time being. Oh, no! Yo, shout out to Kanoya in the chat. Big shout out to Kanoya again. Kanoya, of course, he is the organizer of the event, and is a French caster as well. So big shout out to Kanoya. Big shout outs. As we're wrapping up, Papi, we're wrapping up. We're just about to wrap up, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you. Gracias. As we are just now wrapping up, and yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Some more StarCraft action. / shout outs to Kanoya. And also, of course, support. Thank you. Speaking of, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it as well. Do appreciate for subscribing. As for now, we are going to be wrapping up, and we're going to be heading off for the evening. Do stick around, as we're going to be raiding another StarCraft channel. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? See, Loco is playing Warcraft 3. Who's streaming SC2? Sal. Sal is streaming SC2. He's still doing. Mate, he's been going for a subathon for like 3 months. It's crazy. Crazy subathon for Sal. Otherwise, yeah, we'll raid up a tree. Give him a raid. Give him some love. Give him some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys later on tomorrow. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.